What joys. So right now we're in Shillong, which is northeast of India, like towards Nepal, and it's like a whole different vibe here. Like it's like a whole other personality in itself. 50% of the religion here is actually Christian. We've just checked into this homestay, which feels like I'm at my grandma's house. I've had a bit of a mission because we wanted to rent a scooter, like to go to the Living Root Bridge, waterfalls. Like most of the things here are walks and treks and seeing viewpoints. We first tried to rent a bike, and this lady told us that it wasn't legal anymore here, or 4 months ago it was, because 2 people plotted a murder, rented a bike and then murdered someone up in the hills. Anyway, we managed to get one now. And oh hey. Sorry. But yeah. We came to see a waterfall. There's the waterfall.
We borrowed it. Oh, it's Wakanda Forever. It shows it's a Black Panther look.
Squad edition. Am I right?
You just wouldn't understand it.
Wouldn't understand because I couldn't be asked to finish that Avengers movie because it sucked!
Epic.
Epic moment alert.
There you go.
Don't upset her.
Thank you. Aw.
One,
21,000 watching.
2,
It looks like there's way more than 45. I fucking lost. This is bullshit. I'm doing it again tomorrow. Should I spam in the comments like these other people are?
9 हाउस guys, 9 हाउस लाइन से 9 हुआ है भाई और नंबर पे देखते क्या होता है.
Today was 24. What?
2, 3, 4.
Mama, what flavour? Chicken?
Chicken, pork.
This looks like something from Bridge to Terabithia. We're on the way to the Living Root Bridge, the double-decker Living Root Bridge. On this walk, it's literally all downhill, but there's loads of butterflies, and it went from like tipping it down, so my pants are like soaking wet through. The fact people just live down here is insane. Oh my god. That is a standoff. Where are you? She was a fairy.
3.5 hours.
All together, up and down. How long did we do that walk in?
What time is it now?
Guys, this is actually quite the scary expedition. We're literally on a bamboo bridge on the side of a mountain.
You have to go all the way around. You do.
Basically, it's a holiday today where the women fast for the men for a day, and the woman was saying how they've changed the tradition and now the men fast for the women as well. And like they only really get henna like once a year because they all have children, and obviously they can't like look after the children while they're covered in henna and mendi. And a lot of the women have jobs as well. Like she was telling me how she had a clothing shop, and I don't know, it was really nice to actually like talk to a woman. And then I walked down the road and then he was like, do you want some? And he did it quite fast, and like it's a little bit messy, but like doing it from like 12, like from like the morning until the late evening, like their wrists must kill. Like it's all guys doing it. When I left the airport and I picked up my baggage, which the airports have been the biggest headache ever. Like the amount of security checks is like insane, and they just always find something. Like they're like, oh, you've got this, miss, and I'm like it's a charging port. Like what? Nick always gets buzzed for his leg, and they're like, why have you got metal in your leg? And he's like, because I had surgery. And they're like, what, your whole leg? And he's like, well, yes. Bloody hell, what about inclusivity? Anyway, we went our separate ways, and then I got an Uber because Uber's trusted, yeah? So I got my Uber to my destination. We're here now, but we are driving along, and I put it in my maps to just make sure I'm going the right way. And he like drops me, he like ends at this place, and then he opens the window, and I'm like, I'm not here. Like, this isn't my destination. And then I was like, this isn't me. Like, this isn't where I am. Obviously, I'm in the back of the car, like, And then he was like showing me, and I was like, but where do you see that next to you? Like, it's not there. And then he was asking me to like change the pickup spot. And I was obviously trying to help him out. And I was like, I can change the pickup spot for you. And then I tried to do that, but it's the same exact location. And in my head, I'm thinking, but why when I type in this location, it comes up with here? When he puts it in, it doesn't take him there. So weird. And then I couldn't add I just couldn't add it. And I just think, right, from a male's perspective, who I don't even want to say I hope he has daughters. I just hope he's a normal, nice human being. But if you've got a young solo female in the back of your car, it's starting to get dark, and you just drop her off on the side of a road that's not near her hotel. Her hotel is 10-minute drive. And you wouldn't just do a nice gesture and take her to her hotel to make sure she's just safe. I'm fine to pay a fee, but like safety reasons, like you're on a trusted app called Uber. Like I'd understand if it was some dodgy taxi that took me the wrong way, but it's not. I've actually feel like me and Nick have had sometimes more problems with Uber than we have. They just don't chat to you. That's the only thing. Like that, their English isn't that great, and they don't really talk. So they're obviously just following where they're going, and then they just drop you and leave you. And like sometimes that's great, but then in this instance, it's not. And then he goes, I paid about 650 rupee, which is about $11. And I was like, brilliant. And on Uber, it literally will state you don't need to pay for airport charges. They are included in the price. They already say this to you, which is great for them. Then he suddenly goes, 900. And I was like, for what? And he went, for the ride. And I was like, no. I was like, I'll give you 200 for taking me 2K down the road, which is still a bit of a stretch. Like, people can take you there for 50 rupee. And I'm not going to be that person, but like, that's just the truth. And I gave him 200, and then he looks at me like this, like, where's the rest? And I was like, I paid for this trip. And he went, no, you haven't. I was like, it's come out of my bank account. It's come out of my account. So, and then he went, airport charges? And I went, no. And he went, yes. Looking at me like dead in the eye, being like, yes, this is part of the payment. And I went, your own app that you're being paid by is literally telling me that I don't need to pay for that. So I don't know in what world do you think that I'm not reading that? You're like loopy and you're crazy and you're stupid. And I was like, no. I paid. Sorry. And then he was like looking at me like, I was like, bye. I just got my bags and left. And then, I go into my room to like come get pay for my room, which I prepaid. I've prepaid this. And he goes, you haven't been charged. And it's just, and it's just like one thing says one thing and then the other says another thing. And then they blame it on booking.com. And I'm like, but you're like, surely you know this information. The reason as well why I feel like I get a little bit like annoyed by these kind of things, or anyone would, but let's just, for example, compare it to last night. I'm on my own. I'm carrying Nick's bag, my bags, and Nick took the scooter back to where it's meant to go to join me at our next hotel, which was not in this same hotel. And he goes, I'll get my friend to take you in a taxi. I was like, okay, cool. And he was like, I'll come with you though. Like, I'll make sure you get there safe. And like, you've got everything sorted and you're at the right place. This was in Shillong. This is in Meghalaya, which like culturally quite different. And even like the religions are different. And then him and his mate are just chatting to me and they're lovely. And then they don't even they don't even let me pay for it. And they were like, no, we just want to make sure you get. And I was like, that's the level of service that like anyone should strive for. And I'm not saying give it for free, but I'm saying like, I felt safe, therefore he's going to get a nice review from me. And I'd recommend to him and I would go back to him. But some people just, I don't know. I actually don't know what the fuck is wrong with people here. Like, it's painful. And it's like, I'm by myself. I actually just don't really feel safe arguing with someone in an Uber, but I'm also not going to back down. I'm not backing down from it being overcharged. Like,
guys, this cold brew is the best thing that's ever been in my mouth. Honey, cinnamon, cold brew. Melbourne, get on. I'm enjoying Kolkata. I didn't know what to expect, but I kind of thought it was going to be a really like busy city again, like Delhi or Jaipur or all the others in Rajasthan, but it's actually like quite a nice balance of street food and like that hecticness of the streets, but then you walk down another like lane and the buildings are a bit prettier, like the walk's actually nicer to walk through. On my way back I'll try film, but like I just cannot begin to tell you the ratio of men to women. Like I think I see like a handful of women and then it's just like rows and rows and rows of men, and I want to like take videos, but I just feel like it brings off some like unwanted attention. But like there's really cool things happening. Like you'll walk through and there's just like crowds of people like eating like street food and rice. I literally saw this guy like come over with a thing. I was gonna get something and then I kind of watched this guy like with his hands like bring a whole thing of rice, and I was like, maybe not, but it looks really cool. And then like down the street, you just go get your license, like your driver's license, and everyone's just like signing forms and they get their license. Like there's no traffic lights. All there is like police people blowing whistles.